It's just a lot of things I felt like I was in the dark about. I just don't know how to even make the visitation work. Yes, he can see her whenever he comes here.
And what about when he comes here? Are you gonna stay here? Where is he gonna be?
No, I don't want him to stay here.
And guess what? Nene came to one of my events.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
She made the effort.
I did my sex scene.
How was it?
It was a lot of grinding and flipping each other up.
What's I say?
I was not happy. You don't want to talk to mommy?
I do.
Okay, so let's talk to mommy.
You're crying. I be feeling like I suck as a parent sometimes.
I want you to be happy.
I want to be happy too, and I could have been happy in my marriage if I felt like Marc was in it to be happy as well.
Yeah.
One of my issues with him is like not being able to just have a conversation without yelling or anger or crossing lines. Like, I know it's not me. And I know how hard I've fought for this marriage. I stopped caring about my feelings, and all I was doing is just trying to be everything he wanted me to be and work through everything as best I could to keep my family together. I just feel like it's just always been this block up with him not letting me completely into his life. It's just a lot of things I felt like I was in the dark about. It kind of feels as though there's a large part of him or the relationship that I was just never privy to. For example, I'm not allowed to speak to his mother or father. And if you don't know everything about that person's life, you're not being let in.
No one deserves to be in a miserable situation or being mistreated. So if it's best for you and Marc to split.
I have to do what's best for Brooklyn. I don't even care about me. I just care about what is Brooklyn learning? What is that going to make of her?
Just lay down for 5 minutes. Okay, ladies, thank you for coming to this event. I would like today to be a conversation and to be the example for you all to follow in speaking out about women's issues surrounding pregnancy. 6 years ago, I suffered from a miscarriage at home alone. It was something I really haven't spoken about openly to this extent. The point is, if I were to have talked about it to other women or, you know, been more open, I would have realized that it is okay. It's about releasing all of that and having another woman tell you, I've been through this, I survived. And I'm willing to use my story to help other women.
Everybody's got a story. Porsha has invited you all to really share your story today, if you have the willingness to share.
I'll jump in. I found my forever mate, you know, later in life, and I got the news that, like, I didn't really have a lot of egg reserve, so that's why it was so hard. I've recently started talking about it, and I find that there's a lot of strength in being able to say that to other women.
Being a woman doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to have children.
We put pressure on ourselves, and I think it's just nice to be able to share this.
I nearly died having Brooklyn, and you should never shame another woman for not being able to have children, because those are things you cannot change.
I just appreciate this forum.
Thank you.
I wasn't gonna speak.
Speak a little louder for this side.
But you know you can talk louder than that, Mama.
I know, girl.
Porsha and Tanya decided to host this thing called The Ruin. Now, we'll say this, I had a couple drinks. But that doesn't have anything to do with what was going on. She tried to say, well, you called my child a buffalo. She knows that I am not referring to her child. She knows I was referring to her because that very night that she's speaking of, I said hi to her. She didn't speak, and I was like, it, she must be having a buffalo. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, well, anybody that talks about my husband, my family, my child, you know, you're dead to me, you can't talk to me. Bitch, have you forgot you talked about everybody's marriage?
Porsha had an arranged marriage with Cordell, and she was basically hired to be his beer.
You talked about people's children.
Worry about pimping your daughter out, bitch. See who she'll suck for John Legend tickets, bitch.
You've been involved in people's relationship, but when it's done to you, it's like, oh, it's off limits. So she's sitting over there, and we can't get nowhere. So I got up, and I thought I'd throw a cup of popcorn at her. Just thought she might open her mouth and catch a couple.
Gobble, gobble.
Right. I didn't leave out with the best intentions, but I came in with good ones.